All right, gang, you're jacked into Buffy's Angels, another episode where we talk about what's going on Buffy in season 2. That's wherever we're up to. Over there's Logan Be Adair, our Buffy newbie.
Hey guys, the big week for mom, huh?
Lots of Joyce Summers content this week. I'm Daniel still. Daniel
I'm
Ehrenberg.
Logan still.
Yeah, why I said that? I
What if we
introduced you.
swapped 1 week?
That would be wild, man. I could do like an impersonation of you the whole episode.
How would that sound?
Um,
Don't do it.
I feel
Don't
like
do
killing myself.
But here's mine of you. I just watched porn before we started recording.
What is that? I never do that.
That was a joke for a while that we did, remember?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that was on like Comp Beasts or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For all the OGs out there.
Nice. Yeah. All right. Logan, some big stuff on Buffy this week. Ted. That was a heavily promoted episode because it had a big special guest star, Mr. Jonathan Ritter. And it aired December 8th, 1997. You want to know what else was going on around then?
Oh, I'd love to know.
Holy shit, dude. Well, I'll tell you what else aired that night on Fox. The 8th annual Billboard Music Awards.
Yeah, what was the big winner that night?
I'll tell you what, man. First of all, it's hosted by David Spade.
What is this again?
The Billboard Music Awards. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
So David Spade got in there, told a lot of jokes. Then Artist of the Year, Leanne Rimes. She was still a teen at this point, coming off of a great summer where she had a hit single, How Do I Live, from the Con Air soundtrack. And single of the year, you want to guess? I think you could guess it.
Titanic?
No, Candle in the Wind, 1997, baby.
Of course.
How dare you? Best album and best new artist won by our old friends, the Spice Girls. And Puff Daddy won all the rap categories. Toni Braxton won all the adult contemporary categories for Unbreak My Heart, a classic song where in the video, she wears a one-strapped white dress. I very distinctly remember that. It's a great song. Unbreak my heart, say you love me again. Incredible. Then rock single of the year was Tonic with If You Could Only See the Day I Love. Yep. And then Third Eye Blind won as well. And they also performed that night along with Usher and the Spice Girls. What a night it was.
Wow.
So a lot of people were watching that instead of Buffy. But I was
missing out.
But I wasn't fucking with that. I was watching some John Ritter that night. Hey, I got the top 5 movies in America.
Yeah, tell me.
Well, number 1, returning from Thanksgiving. Yeah, go ahead.
Was it Flubber?
It is Flubber, which I saw in theaters. And even at 11 years old, I was like, I think this is bad.
Were you here this weekend, though?
I think it was the previous weekend I saw Flubber.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Number 2, Alien Resurrection. That's right. Maybe the worst Alien movie? I don't know. But Winona Ryder's in it. It's got that weird little baby alien at the end. And it's directed by the guy that did Amelie. Then number 3 at the box office is The Rainmaker, the new Francis Ford Coppola film. And that had Matt Damon. And a big week for Matt Damon because also debuting outside of the top 5 in like the indie section, because it was only in a few theaters, was a little film called Good Will Hunting.
Yeah, I saw that.
And all right, that's enough. And how about for wrestling? You interested in what's going on that night?
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely.
What was that, a Mr. Popper's Penguins reference?
Yeah, it was. I
Wow.
only know that from this podcast.
All
I've
right.
never seen that movie.
Well, you know it from I Love Kids. We Love Kids movies.
Well, not Buffy, the Buffy podcast,
Yeah.
but one of your podcasts.
Right. One of my classic shows.
I'd say that's one of my favorites.
Yeah, mine too. I just couldn't
That
do it
was a great
anymore.
one.
I could
thought that was
barely
a Tim
watch
choice.
fucking Puss in Boots this week.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. All right. WWF, they're dealing with the aftermath of a pay-per-view that aired over the weekend. D-Generation X were so popular at this point, Logan, that the pay-per-view was just called D-Generation X.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. Stone Cold beat The Rock for the Intercontinental title. And Ken Shamrock challenged Shawn Michaels for the real title. And the next night on Raw, which is this night that Ted aired, Michael Cole. It's his first night ever on commentary. How about that?
Wow, that's very cool.
That's big.
And he's still going today?
He's still there today. He's
That's
not on Raw
amazing.
anymore, but he still does SmackDown and all the pay-per-views. And how about this? On this night, for the first time ever, Stone Cold Steve Austin drives out to the ring in a vehicle, which became one of his great trademarks. This time, it's a Stone Cold truck.
That was
and on
what
the
they
side
called
of it, it was just a truck, and it had a lot of Stone Cold shit on it. On the doors, on the sides, it said 316.
Yeah.
Of course. And if you look at the back,
Kiss My Ass or something?
no, 100% pure whoop ass.
All right.
Pretty good. Meanwhile, in the WCW, Sting is in the middle of his big feud with Hulk Hogan, setting up the pay-per-view later this month, Starrcade, which was their WrestleMania. And Nitro that night was in Buffalo, Logan. And Jim Kelly, the quarterback of the Buffalo Bills, was in the audience and got into a little tussle with Macho Man Randy Savage.
Like as a joke?
No, Macho Man delivered a promo about. Well, it was not a joke, but part of the show.
Like a bit?
Yeah, a bit.
Oh, that's what I mean.
Yeah. All right. Let's get into Ted. What a team, an all-star team working on this episode, written by Joss Whedon and David Greenwalt together, the creators of Angel.
If you would have said name the 3 biggest people in Buffy so far, I would have said Whedon, Greenwalt, and then I would have said probably Bruce Seth Green.
Yeah, directed by Bruce Seth Green, our old pal.
And they're all here.
Yeah, they're all here. I guess, they knew they had John Ritter. They were like, let's bring in the big guns, make this a special one. All right, and Logan, you're watching it for the first time. How about scroting them notes?
Okay. By the way, no Seth Green in either of these episodes.
Yeah, but we'll get him in both of the episodes next week.
Okay. They always do that. They always seem to balance everything out in the end.
Yeah, we got a little miscalendar this week, so we could skip Seth Green.
Yeah, right. They're like Jerry Seinfeld. They're even Steven, right? Or I guess that's Shia LaBeouf. But you know what I mean?
Both of them are. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
All right. So sort of a part I didn't really like the writing. I sort of found it annoying, to be honest. The opening part where they're talking about, I didn't really get it.
Yeah, that's why you don't like it, because you didn't get the ref.
Yeah, maybe
they're talking about the captain and Tennille. That's before your time. It's before my time, but I at least knew what it was.
So you weren't annoyed by the whole thing?
No, I thought it was funny.
Okay, all right. Yeah, but they're talking about that or whatever. But I guess the whole thing is they're walking home, and Buffy walks in. It's unlocked. The door is unlocked. She walks in and finds her mom kissing Ted.
John Ritter.
Yeah. You knew John Ritter at the time?
Oh, big
time. Like, whoa, John Ritter's on Buffy.
Absolutely. And they promoted the fuck out of it. Special guest star. I knew John Ritter because as a kid, I watched Three's Company reruns on Nickelodeon. I loved that show. And also, especially for a kid, dude, he was the dad in the Problem Child franchise.
Yeah, did you think you were the problem child? You
No,
related?
no, no. He was a horrible kid.
Oh,
But
really?
I watched the fuck out of those movies. The first two Problem Child movies, I've probably
You never
seen.
covered those.
Yeah, we should. I've probably seen them like 100 times. But he and I also was a big fan of this movie he was in called Stay Tuned, where he gets sucked into his television set and has to
It's
survive
spelled
in there.
like cartoon?
No, no.
Oh.
It's like Stay Tuned next up on this channel.
Oh, I thought he got turned into a cartoon.
No, well, he does briefly, but for most of the movie, he's just walking around TV shows.
We should remake it. Stay tuned, but TOONED.
Honestly, an animated version of Stay Tuned with that great pun in the title, I would watch the fuck
I'll
out
watch
of.
Stay tuned with my mind toward writing a remake.
Please do.
Oh, that's it. That's it. We had on John Ritter.
Oh yeah. Those were my big John Ritter creds that I was into, and soon after this Buffy episode, he also was great as Scott Speedman's alcoholic dad on Felicity.
Okay, all right. So what happens? They hang out for a little while at Buffy's house, and he makes them little pizzas. And Xander really loves the pizzas. He can't shut up later in the episode about all the pizzas.
Right, because they're drugged, kind of.
Oh, really? They'd had the what was in the cookies?
I think everything Ted cooks has that
Holy
shit in it.
I did not put that together.
And if you pay attention closely to the episode, Buffy never even takes a bite of any of his shit, and that's why she's skeptical of him the whole thing.
Wow. Later, when the cookies come back, and when Willow looks at the cookie and she's like, "Whoa!" I remembered the part when they were at the golf course and he had the bag of cookies. I remember that. I was like, "Oh, that's probably bad," and I did not remember that this part was bad also.
Yeah.
So wow, what would I do without you? I would have gone my whole life like not remembering that the pizzas were poisoned.
I
But
know.
I thought he was just a good cook.
Crucial detail in season 2, episode 11 of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah, thank you for that.
You're very welcome.
So then Buffy, she like fights a vampire and she's all pissed off about the boyfriend, so she's like extra hard on this vampire, right? She beats it up for an extra long time.
Yeah.
And Giles is like, "All right, I think you can kill it now. I think you can kill it now." And then she kills it. I sort of have a question though.
Go for it.
Like she says, she has a quote, I wrote it down. She says, "I kill vampires, that's my job." And didn't we learn last week with Kendra, the vampire slayer? Didn't we learn from her last week when she was like vampire killing, vampire slaying isn't your job, it's who you are? Wasn't that like the whole lesson? And the next week she's already back to slaying is my job.
Yeah.
I don't know. Felt like we're going backwards.
Interesting, Logan. She still sees it that way, kind of.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess there's no explanation.
Nope.
All right. So then, we go to school, right? And we run into Ted.
Yeah, I guess so. Sure.
And Ted's there, and they're like, "What?"
He's brought Willow some shit to jack up her computer, and he's also updating some other shit.
Yeah, he's like working on the school's computers.
Yeah.
He's like updating those or whatever. And he invites her to go mini golfing, and she's like, "I don't want to do any of that." But Xander loves this guy now, so Xander wants to go. So they end up going, right?
Yeah. By the way, there's an earlier episode of Buffy, I don't remember which one, where they specifically state that there's no mini golf in Sunnydale, but I guess a mini golf course has been built since then.
They said that previously?
Yes.
Whoa, I don't remember that. Do you remember what episode that's in?
I don't know.
Wow. Was that in your paper? Foreshadowing?
No, it wasn't.
Okay. Wow, you missed a big element.
Yeah.
You probably would have got a better grade if that had happened. Maybe a 105 out of 100.
I got a perfect grade, son. I was nominated for an award for best essay.
You would have won, son.
You're right, man. Maybe I would have won that award instead of fucking Andrew Bottomley's paper on The Wire, motherfucker.
Was it about foreshadowing in The Wire?
No, I think it was about like social issues or something. He really had me pegged. Damn. I couldn't have beaten that.
That's funny. All right. So Then Giles goes to Jenny's class. We didn't see her last week during the two-parter, right?
Right.
What was that episode where she got possessed? We haven't seen her since then.
Yeah, we haven't seen her since episode 8, The Dark Age. So it's been 3
The
without her.
Dark Age. What was that guy's name?
Or 2 without her.
What was that guy's name that we met?
Igon.
No, not him. The other guy, Giles' buddy.
Ethan Rain.
Ethan Rain. Oh, is he related to the New Mutant Rain?
No.
Okay.
No, that's her first
wolf?
name. It's Rain Sinclair.
Oh, okay. I remember hers was Rahne, right?
That's right. And this fella spells his last name Rayne.
Oh, okay. Kind of close. More similar than I would have thought, honestly.
Mm.
All right, so he goes in there to her class, and he's like, was this an excuse or was this real? He was like, hey, I work in a library, so a bunch of your books got delivered to my library just to let you know if you want to like come pick them up or whatever. And she's like, you're a bad liar. I know that you can, that you made it. Well, did he just make that up?
She goes, yeah, I mean, nice excuse to come see me. And he goes, you should have heard the ones I threw out.
That was good. That was pretty funny. Yeah, but she, like, they sort of have a cute moment there, but she's still, like, not really having it. She still needs more and more time away from him.
She doesn't feel like she does, but she reacts badly in the moment. You could see her sort of beating herself up over it later.
Yeah. Well, by the end, they're good, right?
Yeah, back together.
Yeah, back together. Is she in the next episode?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I feel like no. All right, so then we go to Buffy and Angel, right? This is his only scene in this episode. She's like complaining about the new boyfriend Ted, and he's like, "Hey, take it easy on him. Maybe your mom just needs a boyfriend." She's like not having it so easy, and but Buffy's not really so happy. But then one of them says, "Kiss me," and then they just end up.
There's a lot of that in these 2 episodes.
Oh yeah, there's so much kissing in these 2 episodes. It's crazy.
Just Buffy and Angel sucking face.
Yes, Cordelia and Xander also.
I was wondering in the next one how Angel feels as like a 240-year-old man having to deal with your girlfriend being grounded by her mom.
Hey, it's what he signed up for.
I know.
He has to know that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, you're right. There's a lot of Cordy and Xander in these 2.
Yeah, they're really. I didn't think we were gonna get this much, but we're really committed to that.
Mm-hmm.
So then we go to the mini golf part, right? And Ted has a line that I thought was a little weird. He's like, "Hey, Buffy, I bet all the boys in school are lined up to date you. Am I right about that?" I feel like that's weird when
it's a creepy thing to say
that about kids.
Yeah,
right? And they say that a lot, like without even really knowing it. Like even when they say like, "I bet you like you're a real heartbreaker," I feel like that's kind of weird too.
I feel like people now are starting to understand that that's weird. It was way more okay back then.
Yes, well, even when I was like a little kid, people would say that. But like, if I had a kid and people were saying that, I would be like a little weirded out by that. Like,
I agree.
Yeah, I don't like that. But yeah, he says that, and then she fucks up her swing, and I agree with him. Like, you don't get to come do it from over here. You got to do it from. Not really. I don't really agree. But she fucks up and has to go do it, and she cheats. But she does cheat, which isn't cool. And but how did nobody see that? How was he the only one that sees her cheat?
Because everyone else is behind that huge windmill.
Oh, I forgot the hole is behind the windmill. And
yeah.
He went and checked. Okay, great job. And yeah, so he sees, and then he threatens her like, "Hey, bitch, I'm gonna fucking smack you," or something like that. He does say he's gonna smack her. I remember that.
Yeah. So Ted turns out to be a robot at the end of this episode, and I wrote down every foreshadow of that.
Oh, okay. Yes, I remember the one where at work where they're like, "Yeah, he's the machine."
Yeah.
And in that moment, I knew that he was gonna be a robot.
Yeah. Did you?
Yeah. When they call him the machine.
Oh wow, good for you.
What happened here though?
He says that he doesn't believe in cheating. He goes, "I'm not wired that way."
Oh, that's good. That is good. Even when he died, I was like, "Oh, That's interesting. And at that point, I was like, whether he's dead, I like it, or even if he comes back as a robot, I like it. So I was interested either way.
Yeah.
But it was fun how they played it. Um, but yeah, so then they go home, and Buffy is like, "Mom, your boyfriend threatened me," but Mom doesn't really buy it, right?
Yeah, I feel like the mom should be more open to this moment. But you know what? Parents suck because I'm pretty sure I said shit like this to my mom when she was dating dudes, and like she was just like, "Well, I'm gonna go ahead and keep dating this guy."
No, yeah. I have four siblings, and we have all told my mom that we hate our stepfather, and we've told our father that we hate our stepmother, and they've been married to them for the last like 10 years.
Yeah, parents really, when it comes down to it, give a shit about their pussies and their penises way more than they do about their kids.
Yes, but the thing with my family is none of them are happy. We think they're just married so that they're not as embarrassed to be the person that gets divorced first, like
Yeah.
twice first, you know?
And loneliness is a terrible thing, as Angel reminded us.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Uh, so then what happens? Cordelia comes by. We go to school, and
Yeah.
Cordelia's like, "Hey, Xander, we gotta go kiss somewhere, right?"
Well, he says nice outfit to her, and she gets like offended by it, and then he follows her, and they end up making out in the utility closet.
Right, the utility closet. And then later is when she comes by and she like plays it real funny.
Yeah.
Uh, but Buffy tells Willow to do a little investigating on the boy. I'm glad we didn't see the actual investigating. We go from like telling Willow to do the investigating to then cut to she's already at work. She already knows where the job is. She's already there. I like that part because we got to fit in like the whole death and revival and all that
Yeah, a
stuff.
lot happens in this
Action
episode.
packed. Yeah. So we go to work, and that's where we hear he's the machine. He leads. He's top of sales.
Yeah. The scene
And
before that, Buffy also tells her friends that she thinks Ted is totally Stepford,
yeah, what
which,
does that mean?
well, it's a reference to the Stepford Wives, a
Yeah.
movie where all of the Stepford Wives were robots.
Oh, I didn't know what that was about, but
Yeah.
I've heard of that. Wow. If only I'd known. So we go to dinner.
Wait, talk about the work scene more. This is one of my favorite one scene characters in Buffy history. This dude Ted works with. I really like him. Back to the
Yeah.
salt mines.
Yeah, you really like that part?
Yeah, I really enjoyed him. I'm surprised he's letting her clutter up his desk because he's got that picture of Joyce. I don't know. He really, I've worked with dudes that are exactly like this dude. I thought he captured something.
I thought Buffy sort of overreacted to that picture of her folded.
Yeah, maybe it was just the only picture he has of Joyce.
Yeah, I thought she like really I thought that was an overreaction by
I thought
Buffy.
so too. Well, a lot of shit's an overreaction by Buffy. Like, if Ted wasn't a robot, then Buffy would have killed someone in this episode.
Yeah. You're right. You're right. She does deal with that. She is pretty traumatized by it though.
Yeah.
So they go to dinner. Buffy says something. She says, "I'm going to kill myself."
Well,
And
she
they're
says
like,
she feels like killing herself.
"I feel like killing myself." And they're like,
I like that you're
"Yeah,
making fun of
yeah."
that when you tell me that every day.
Yeah. Well, she didn't kill herself.
No.
So that was good.
This also has another robot foreshadow, that scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. When he asks if Joyce likes the dinner, and Joyce says, every home should have one of you.
That's a robot thing.
Well, that's like a thing people say about appliances.
Yeah, I didn't really put that together. That's good
Oh.
though. So what is that? 4 now?
There's a bunch.
4 or
yeah.
5?
Something like that.
Wow. So Mom doesn't really care that Buffy's gonna kill herself. She ends up taking Ted's side in the whole thing. What does she do? She grounds Buffy or whatever. Is that
Yeah.
here? Did that happen?
You can go up to your room, young lady. That's what you can do.
Yeah, she's really I don't really understand. It's sort of crazy.
Well,
Uh,
she's eating so much of Ted's food, man.
yeah, I guess I keep forgetting about the damn food. I always think about just the cookies, but it's not. Oh yeah, he made the dinner. She didn't eat any of this. Oh yeah, I remember she didn't eat
No,
any of
she
it.
didn't eat any of it, man.
Yeah, I remember that. Damn. Uh, okay, my favorite part of the episode probably. Buffy, she goes and she sits on a swing set and she's doing like surveillance or whatever, but she's just like vampires, here vampires. It's so funny and it's so cute, and Sarah Michelle Gellar just nails it. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, she's
Maybe the best
amazing.
part of Buffy so far. Uh, the she comes home and Ted is in her room and he found all of her vampire slaying appliances and he's like, "What's this?" And he found, what did he find? Like, her, was that her diary?
Yeah,
And he's like, "I'm gonna go read it or something." And they get into a big fight and he slaps her and they go down the hall and he falls down the stairs and he dies. Did he actually die? Oh, I guess
yeah.
he's a
You
robot.
see him
But
like snap his neck, but he's able to. I mean, whatever. He woke up in the morgue, right? That's what he
yeah,
said.
how long was he gone? Did they not do any of the morgue stuff, checkup stuff? Did they not find he was a robot?
Well, we didn't see him in the morgue. Maybe the second they tried to do an autopsy on him, he just like snapped up and like fucking killed the morgue attendant.
Yeah, I got like I have questions, but also I wouldn't want to see that stuff. So
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah, so why am I complaining? All right, so we go to school. Buffy's all sad because
Wait.
she.
First we meet the detective Stein.
Oh, I liked him. He was funny.
We'll see him again. He's a recurring cop in the Buffy universe.
I thought he was like he knew exactly what he was doing and he was playing it up. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't look like he hit you very hard or whatever he was doing. I thought
Yeah. And
it
she
was
goes, "I
funny.
don't bruise easily."
Yeah, that was all he really did. I thought it was gonna lead to like them accusing her of more stuff, but no, that's really nothing really else really happened there. Um, but
Well,
so,
the cops we know about the supernatural shit in town. So like it's very
but are they
possible
on
once
their side?
No, what?
Like,
No,
like
I mean
is he?
I don't think they're on anybody's side. Their only side is they're covering everything up. And so when it turns out Ted's a robot, they might have just like dropped all the charges and shit.
But like the cop would be more on the robot side than Buffy's side, just because it would mean like less
I don't
paperwork,
I
probably.
don't think you'd be on anybody's side. At this point, I think he's investigating a teenage girl who killed
Okay,
her mother's,
okay, so he doesn't
boyfriend.
know that.
But what I'm saying is that unseen later, the reason the cops don't follow up on this might be because they found out that he's a robot.
Okay, okay. Um, so they go to school. They do like some more investigating. This is when we learn about the cookies. That the cookies are actually, um, they like mellow you out. She said they had some drug in it. I forgot what it was, but they're meant to like make you not ask him any questions about him being a robot or whatever.
Yeah,
I
they
don't,
have
I
like
don't know.
ecstasy in them or something.
Yes. And so Giles goes to the cemetery because Buffy is busy dealing with the fact that she murdered somebody. And so he's there, and Jenny shows up. She's like, "Hey, I saw your car. Thought I'd stop by and talk about our relationship and all that stuff." And there's a vampire. Oh, this was this was sort of crazy. I didn't like this. So what happens? Jenny shoots Giles, right? With a
Yeah,
crossbow,
accidentally.
accidentally. And the vampire, instead of seizing that opportunity and attacking Giles, is like, "Hey, thanks, lady. You've shot him, and so he can't kill me." And then they end up just killing the vampire. That was a
Well,
dumb vampire.
yes, I agree, but it also happened very quickly in that he wasn't expecting Giles to rip the arrow out of his fucking back and stab him with it.
Why is he just standing there laughing instead of killing this guy who is trying to
Because he
attack you?
thought he had the upper hand, man. These vampires and their hubris.
Yeah, well, I thought he was very stupid. I didn't like that decision from him, but what are you
Okay.
gonna do? So Ted is alive, right? Is that
Yeah,
where we are?
sure is. Yeah.
He comes back and he says, "A good salesman always comes back for round two," or what did he say?
I
Something
don't
like
remember.
that.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's the machine or whatever. I don't know. And
John Ritter is so fucking good in this part of the episode when like he's malfunctioning and he keeps like his like head tilts to the side and he says some shit that doesn't connect to the other stuff he's saying and then immediately comes back into the conversation he was in. He is
yeah,
so goddamn good in this.
yeah, I agree. Then we cut to everybody else like Willow and Cordelia and Xander, and this was kind of funny. They find they find a house or something, and Cordelia's like, this rug really doesn't match everything else in this room, and they lift it up and there's like a secret basement door, and
Yeah.
so they go down and they realize that's where all of the bodies of his previous wives
Right.
are
They
kept.
had previously found that Ted has 4 marriage certificates and no divorce record, and they find his 4 previous wives in his closet.
Yes, and it's like an old timey basement. It was kind of cool. The set design of everything. I like the
Yeah.
effort they put into it. Good job. Who did this? Bruce Seth Green did a good job, and probably I'm sure Whedon was pretty hands on with this one.
Yeah, and the
Uh,
production design team.
yeah, but I don't know their names, so I'm not gonna say good job to them.
Okay.
Uh, so then we go to. I thought the final battle was a little sudden. She sort of she's like breaks in and then just like hits him with a frying pan a couple times, kills him.
Right. But
I don't know.
when you see his face after she hits him with the frying pan and it's all fucked up, it looks really cool.
It does. It does look cool. We've come a long way in this special effects, right? Since the early days.
Yeah, for
Looks
sure.
looks a lot better, and I'm sure it'll only get even better from now. But then what? They talk about what movie they want to rent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they settle on Thelma and Louise for the
Right. Joyce doesn't
eighth
want
time.
anything with horror, romance, or men. And so they come up with Thelma and Louise.
Yeah, which I had never seen. Should I watch that? I mean, it's on my list. But
Yeah, it's worth watching. It definitely has no horror or romance, really. Brad Pitt's in it, so
yeah,
it does
Brad
have a
Pitt's in it.
man.
I know how it ends. Don't spoil it for the listeners.
Everybody
else.
knows that. That's one of those things that the end is the only thing anybody knows about that movie.
And the pit like dancing part. That's really all I know. I don't even know who plays Thelma or Louise.
Really?
I had no idea. Demi Moore?
No, it's Gina Davis and Susan Sarandon.
Well, yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
All right, so then they go to school, and do they talk about anything? We get like Buffy, Willow, Xander walking.
Yeah, but it's really just a lead up.
The same
to
as the
them.
beginning of it when
It's
they walk in and see the mom and the Ted kissing. It's the same exact thing at the
right,
end,
exactly. Yeah,
but we see Giles. They're
gross
going to the
adults
library.
kissing. I'm a gross adult now, aren't I?
Do they say that?
Well, that's the vibe.
Oh, yeah. They walk and they go to the library. They see Jenny and Giles kissing. So Jenny and Giles back together at the end of this episode. All the action got Jenny into it, right?
I guess so. Well, she also has to take Giles to the hospital after that. That could be a bonding situation.
Yeah, you're right.
It's almost like she got him back. Like fucking Giles fucked up and got her involved in some demon shenanigans, and now she shot him with a crossbow, so they're even.
Did she do that on purpose?
No, of course not.
Oh, okay. All right, I'm gonna give this a 4. What do you give this?
Also a 4.
All right, my MVP. You could go Ted, but I'm gonna go with Buffy. I thought she was having to do a lot of drama in this episode with her mom.
It's the Rit, man. The Rit is the MVP.
No, I understand, but I'm gonna go with Buffy. I thought she was really good in this one.
She is. She's a great actress, though. Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yeah, she is. And LVP, you can go either mom for just being so blinded. But well, I guess the food. The food is the
Yeah.
really the answer to all my problems with her. I'm gonna go with that dumb vampire who was like, "Oh, thanks, Jenny, for shooting him," and then gets himself killed.
Well, I like that.
I don't know. Everyone else is pretty good this episode.
Yeah, I guess I was gonna go with Joyce, but nothing against the performance. Like, I think Christine Sutherland's really good in this one. Um, but I love everybody else. Like, I think Cordy, Xander, Willow have good weeks. Buffy's great. Angel's good in his one scene. I like that guy Ted works with. The detective is good. It's a solid episode.
Who are you going with?
I'm gonna go with I'll go with Joyce, but just the character, not the performer.
Well, even though she was possessed the episode.
I mean, yeah, she wasn't possessed at first. She clearly at some point met a robot that looks like John Ritter and was like, I want to fuck that.
That's true. That's true. All right, fair enough. All right, so I guess we have to rank this. I put this at, I've ranked 24 at this point, and I put this at number 6. I put it between Halloween and What's My Line Part 2, the one we did last week.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I'd probably have it somewhere around there. So read me from the top down.
Prophecy Girl, When She Was Bad, Lie to Me, Angel, School Hard, Halloween, The Pack, What's My Line 2, What's My
Yeah,
Line
throw this
1.
between Halloween and the Pack.
All right, so you have it at number 7. All right, and then the next episode.